Hello Internet! Yesterday I uploaded my top 10 favourite films that came out in 2013, and I thought that I could do one similar with books. I'm just going to talk about books that I read in 2013 and enjoyed, and hopefully there might be one that you haven't read and you can go check it out and then you might like it as well. I got a Kindle for my birthday this year, so I'm going to talk about the books that I've read on that first, and then I'm going to talk about paperback books that I have bought. The first book I'm going to talk about is The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. I'm sure that many people are aware of this book, whether or not if they've read it or not. If you haven't, all I'm going to say is that it's about a girl called Hazel who has cancer. That sounds very, very depressing and morbid, I know, but trust me on this one, this book is one of the best books that I've read in a very, very long time, and it was absolutely amazing. I never cried so much reading the book as I did when I read The Fault in Our Stars. So all my friends told me that I had to read it and that I was going to love it, and it did not disappoint me. John Green is an absolutely fantastic author. This book made me laugh, cry, I was angry. It was just one of those things where it would make you feel warm and fuzzy inside, but you knew that that was probably a bad thing. I cried a lot. When I finished it, I was a bit like this. Why, John, why? But I don't regret reading it. I think it was one of the best books I've read, and if you haven't read it, you totally should just go and read it. Another book that I read in 2013 is a book called Winter Girls by Laurie Halse Anderson. And Laurie Halse Anderson is one of my favourite authors. She also wrote a book called Speak, which I really, really enjoy. And Winter Girls is about a girl with an eating disorder. I think that the way that she writes is really, really good. First person as well, so you're thrown completely into the mindset of a girl with an eating disorder, and it gives you a brand new perspective of it, and it opens your eyes a little bit to the things that they go through. I think that it was very accurate, and she wrote it very, very well. I thought that it was absolutely wonderful. I really, really enjoyed this book and thought that it was really good. The last book I'm going to talk about from my Kindle is actually a series of books, and that's the Infernal Devices series by Cassandra Clare. The first book in the series is Clockwork Angel, then there's Clockwork Prince, and then Clockwork Princess. These books are a prequel to Cassandra Clare's other series, The Mortal Instruments, which leads me on very much to our paperbacks. The Infernal Devices and The Mortal Instruments were probably the biggest series of books that I read this year. I was recommended to read them by one of my friends who did not shut up about it until I picked up City of Bones, which is the first Mortal Instruments book. I read this in a day and a half, and picking it up was one of the best decisions that I ever made, and I tried to get so many people to read them because they are just so, so fantastic. I finished the series in 4 days. I literally didn't stop. If you don't know what it's about a girl called Clary Frey who is introduced to the world of shadow hunters who hunt demons, and she's just thrown in and has to work out things by herself and learn all these things that she never even knew existed. You're thrown into this world with Clary, and you don't know what's going to happen. Cassandra Clare's writing is absolutely fantastic. It's so unpredictable. You never know where she's going to take the story. As soon as you've gone, okay, it's gonna be okay now, and it's just bam, and she just comes in and just destroys everything you thought, and she just literally rips your heart out and stamps all over it. Infernal Devices is a complete series, but the sixth one of this, City of Heavenly Fire, comes out in March. So you've got 3 months, if you haven't read these books, to read them all. I would recommend that if you're going to read the Mortal Instruments, that you do read the Infernal Devices, because there have been teasers from the sixth book which makes it sound like they're going to tie it in. I won't say what or anything, so don't want to spoil it. You should definitely read them both. They're absolutely fantastic. 13 is a book that I literally finished today, and that is Stephen King's Dr. Sleep. This is Stephen King's most recent book, and it is a sequel to one of his more popular books, The Shining. Red Rum. Dr. Sleep did not disappoint. It the same with all of Stephen King's novels. He drew you in. The story is so interesting, and he's an absolutely fantastic writer. If you haven't read it, then you should definitely go and pick it up. Another book I read this year was The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky, about a boy called Charlie who is a little bit of like an outcast. He sort of stands on the side. It's written in letters to his friend. It's literally his dear friend, and I don't normally like books that are like that. But I actually loved this book. It's one of those books that after you read it, you're thinking about it for a while. So if you haven't read it, you should definitely go and check it out. Another book written in a similar way to Perks Being a Wallflower is Where Rainbows End by Cecilia Ahern. It's about a girl called Rosie and her friend Alex, and Alex moves to America, and it's them and their long distance friendship. That's all I'm going to say because I don't want to ruin it for you, but I absolutely love this book. The concluding books that I want to talk about is the Divergent series by Veronica Roth. It follows a girl called Beatrice who, where she lives, they have 5 factions, and you're born into a faction. When you turn 16, you'll take a test and they will see which faction suits you best, and then you go to a ceremony and you choose your new faction, and then you have to train to become a part of it. Somebody on Twitter had seen my other books I've been talking about and said that because she saw that I liked them, she thought that I would like these, and they did not disappoint. They were amazing. If you like things like the Hunger Games and stuff, then you should definitely go check these books out because they are so worth the read. As those are the books that I read in 2013. I had a very busy year, so I didn't have time to read as much as I normally would. Were there any good books that you read in 2013, or did you read any of the same ones as me? If you did, let me know in the comments below. Also, if you want to follow me on Twitter, we can talk books or anything else, then that's in the description box. And I really hope you liked this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you want to watch the rest of my videos and you like them, please subscribe to my channel because that would be amazing. Bye!